Okay, good morning, everybody. Let me just get my clock going. Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. We're going to continue with our October challenges. And first we'll go through just warming up with our sun salutation and get really comfortable with that routine. And then we'll do some of the fitness challenges. And remember, you should have your sheet where you have documented how many of each that you've done, because I think that's going to be a good motivator for you in the future to see how you're doing. So let me just reiterate as well, is what I'd like you to do is when we do work out, you're going to remember the Borg rating of perceived exertion scale, and we're going to move our effort level down to kind of this somewhat hard, sort of hard. That's the level that I want you to kind of work out, that level. But let me just be really honest with you. Today I did not want to do this. So I just read an interesting article from somebody who in fact addressed this very thing. And I mean, this happens with everybody, that I just really don't feel like working out today. I really don't feel like maybe doing my homework right now. Any number of things. And what the person said, which kind of resonates with me, is just get started. Okay, give it 10 minutes. Okay, and in that 10 minutes, you more than likely will probably change your attitude about continuing the exercise or getting, totally involved in it. But should you want to go ahead and stop at that point, okay, so you stop. Okay, then you'll revisit it. So I think this was in regards to fitness and going to a gym, because a lot of people don't like to do it. It's somewhat hard, obviously, that's where you should be working out, and people just don't like to work out at somewhat hard. Okay, so you got the idea. So even if you don't like to do it, even if you're having trouble today or in the future with getting started, give it that 10 minutes. I think it'll be even less. Like, I think once you get started, after a few minutes, you're going to feel like, well, I can do this. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started on our sun salutation, and I'll take you through it. We'll do it for a few minutes and then get started with our fitness, and it'll be a shorter workout today. Okay, you can take your shoes off with this. Start with reaching up, mountain pose, bend, touch your toes or however far down you can get, and just hold it. Okay, then we came up to this position, kind of try to straighten our back. Then we dove down to our toes again. Then we went to a plank. From here we slowly lowered ourselves down to a lying position. Okay, and then we came up to this cobra position, stretched our lower back, and then we went back down. And from here, we went to downward facing dog. Okay, then we stepped up to a forward fold. I think we came up to here again, to tabletop, and then down, and then reached up. Okay, so that's the routine, got it? So let's start putting just a little bit of the breathing into the position so we just have a nice little flow. So let's start doing that. Let's start incorporating that into it. So we breathe in, and then as we dive in, breathe out. As we come up, breathe in, and as we go down, breathe out. As we go to the plank, breathe in, and as we lower down, breathe out. As we reach up for the cobra, breathe in. As we go down, breathe out. As we go to downward facing dog, breathe in. As we step forward, breathe out. As we come up, breathe in. As we reach down, breathe out. And then lastly, come up and breathe in. Okay, so you got it. So a lot of people call it yoga flow. So what we're trying to do is just flow from one thing to the next, and then we're allowing our body to feel the breath in and out. So as we get better at this, we are just allowing our mind to feel our breath, feel our body, and it's become such a natural routine that it's almost like a moving meditation. Got the idea? It's really pretty cool if you think about it. So let's try to do it again. Okay, with the breath. I'll try to walk you through it. Ready? Breathe in. Breathe out as you dive down. Breathe in as you come up, touch your knees, and then breathe out as you go, touch your toes. Breathe in as you do the plank. Breathe out as you come down to the floor. In as we do the cobra, and then out as we go back to the floor. In, downward facing dog. Out as we step up. In, touch your knees. Out as we touch our toes. In as we do the mountain pose. Okay? It's really pretty cool. And then, like I say, what we'll do is through the next number of weeks, we're going to continue with this routine so it becomes totally ingrained and it's just totally natural. And we're going to add maybe a few things to it. Okay, so good. So let's get our grid together. And what we'll do is we'll go through these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different exercises. Some of them for a minute, some of them are how many you can do. So let's start off with the push-ups, okay? And remember, you're going to work to about 70% of your capacity, which is about somewhat hard. Okay. So make sure it's a perfect push-up. We'll start with the push-ups. Make sure it's a perfect push-up. If you need to have a little assistance with being on your knees, do that. If you need to have something that's a little bit more elevated, like this, do that. But all the time, make sure that your back is straight. Okay, so I'm going to do mine. Let's see how many I can do. I can see what my goal is. I'm just checking my goal and see what I did before. Sometimes that's a motivator to see if I can maybe even push myself just a little bit more. Okay, ready? On your own, just go ahead and go. All right, I'm done. All right, that was really maybe a little bit more effort than I probably should have done. But I did improve slightly. So put down write down the date and the number that you did. Okay, so let's get ready for sit-ups. So remember the way we did the sit-ups, knees bent. You can anchor your feet underneath the sofa or have somebody just hold your ankles down. And we're gonna do it for 1 minute. I'll keep an eye on the clock. I'll tell you when 30 seconds is up. Okay, you're gonna do as many as you can in a minute. Cross your arms over your chest, and every time you come up, get close to touching your elbows to your knees. Ready? Get set, go. we got 25 seconds left. Okay, and stop. All right, get your sheet out and write down on your sheet how many you did. Okay, the thing I really like about this is that it pushes you, especially if you have a grid that you've made, it will give you an idea, well, where was I? And a lot of time that's a motivator. I was at, the previous time we worked out, I did 30 in a minute. So this time, for whatever reason, whether my stomach's got a little stronger or just the motivation of the 30 pushed me to do 32. Okay, so we are going to do, let's go ahead and, yeah, let's do the burpees. Okay, remember the burpees are our squat, back, squat, and up. Every time I go up, I go ahead and do that. Okay, so let me wait until we get to 12:30 and see how many you did last time and see if you can beat that. Remember, you're gonna go to about, you're gonna work out at the somewhat hard level. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. I'm cooked. And stop. Okay, get your grid. Write down how many you did. So just give you an idea. Last time I did 22 in the minute. I did 23 this time. Okay, so let's just rest. You can see this is really a good cardio workout. Okay, let's go ahead and do, for 1 minute, sumo sit. You can either do it on a wall, or if you don't have a wall, just do a sumo sit. And however many seconds you did, write that down. If you did it for the whole minute, fine. So once again, we'll start at 15:30. Okay, ready, and go. Now, whether you do the wall sit or sumo sit, make sure your legs are about 90 degrees. A little bit easier to do the wall sit. Yeah, probably a little bit easier. The harder thing is, you can really get down to almost the really 90 degrees with the wall sit. Sumo sit, a little bit harder to get to that 90 degree. But if you can, it's really, really rough. So remember, in the progressing weeks, we'll do the wall sit a little bit more. Okay, 5 more seconds. 2, 1. Okay, write down if you did it the whole minute or how many seconds you were able to hold it. We got one more, and that's the mountain climbers. So what you're going to do is every time, could be your right leg or your left leg, every time it comes up to the point of your elbows, you're going to count that 1. Okay, every time your right leg comes out to hit the elbow or close to the elbow, that's going to be 1 repetition. Okay, so let's again start when we get to 30. Okay, keep count. See how many you did last time, and see if you can improve. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, and stop. Woo! Okay, write down how many you did. How many you did in 1 minute? Okay, so that was a great workout. So what I need to tell you is this is a great motivator. And frankly, I had a number in my mind that I wanted to try to accomplish, and then I went a little bit over. So what I'd really like to do is to hear from you. Drop me an email, bhelfer@comday.org, and let me know how many of these that you did on any number of them, where you feel that you're maybe the strongest and how many you did. And the important thing is not how you did compared to somebody else. The important thing is, how did you do compared to yourself the previous week? Are you making some gains? Okay? And lastly, I need to tell you is that, especially with like the push-ups, which were really taxing the muscles, it's good that you wait a day in between, because your muscles need a little bit of time to repair, because we're really kind of slightly hurting them. It's called micro tears, and your body needs to rest and sleep and rejuvenate. Okay, great workout. See you next time.